what is to fly the most secure aircraft in the world today? And that is the Air Force One, carrying the U.S. Commander-in-Chief to travel around the world. So join us in today's episode as we go through the aircraft features and key events that play the role in this aircraft. Hi everyone, welcome back here. This is Diana and a happy and a blessed new year 2025. And as you know, the US this year has a new president-elect. And we're all about aviation, so we're gonna talk about the Air Force One. Beautiful aircraft with very good features on it. So before we dive into, visit our website, follow us on social media, and leave us a comment below. So in 1903, the Wright brothers had their successful flight. And at this point, President Theodore Roosevelt was in power. So he shown interest of taking benefits of this new approach as far as transportation. Then fast forward in 1933, Franklin D. Roosevelt got the first Clipper, the B-314. Later on, in 1943, the Clipper 315. Which it was an amphibian aircraft, great usage, and it's shown a lot of military usage. 1945, which it was not long before that, it was the Skymaster, the Douglas C-54. And on this aircraft, we got radios, we got telephones, and obviously what we know now, the Sacred Cow. Now, Harry Truman in 1947 saw, and the whole country, the whole nation saw there was a security issue here, having people in power flying around the world, flying in the skies basically. That's when it was signed the National Security Act, which paved the way for what it is now the presidential aircraft, the Air Force One. The very first one called like that, it was the Douglas DC-6, the LiftMaster. And at this time, it was the largest aircraft that it was able to have a capacity of 24 passengers. They added compartment, it was safe, it was mainly for the president to be there. And that's what we call at this point in history, the Independence aircraft. In 1959, Boeing 707, successful aircraft. And what it used to be called, it was SAM 970, 971, 972. We move forward in time, and later on it was used by the vice presidents in different missions around the world. Now, 707, it was mainly used, or it was well known by John F. Kennedy flying around the country, and it became a very successful, it became such an image for him to flying around the world. And what we know at this point, when JF Kennedy was killed, Vice President Lyndon Johnson assumed presidency while they were flying back to Washington. So 707 Air Force, it was an iconic aircraft for the new president on board. And at this point, what we call now, it was an older aircraft, and now we have in 1981 a new aircraft, the 747. The 747, it was introduced, or it was purchased, signed by President Ronald Reagan. He didn't have the opportunity to fly on that because by the time it was delivered into the hands of George Bush Sr. He was able to fly around the world with it, and it became such a presidential, it became such an iconic, and the way it was painted, the paint scheme, it reflects the whole community, the whole nation of what is United States, and not only military. So what we know now is the 747, which is sometimes called the VC-25A. So the 747-200 has been flown for over 35 years now. And it's a remarkable aircraft, and we're gonna go through the specs right now. But just to give you a brief idea right now is that the operational cost for this aircraft is about $270,000 per hour. It can fly about 45,000 feet. It's powered by 4 electric engines, which each one it has a thrust of 57,000 pounds. The maximum takeoff weight is 833,000 pounds. It's almost 410 tons of weight lifting up in the air. The range is something that we can talk about, but it's 6,800 about nautical miles range. But the whole point that it has able to have mid-air refuel, it can go 4 hours, it can go for days, it really depends. The approximate crew for operating that aircraft is about 30 people, so it's a crew of 30, and it has a capacity of 71 passengers. Now, the compartments in this aircraft, it's known, but it's not completely secure what it's out there, what they have disclosed to us, what the US government has disclosed to us. But obviously, as you know, it has a command center, it has a cargo hold, it has a middle deck, which a lot of people don't know what's inside of that. Obviously, it has the flying oval office. The aircraft have a designated phones, and they're color coded. Some people say that they are secured lines, some of them are unsecured lines. So basically people who call in and out, they choose which phone to pick, right? So it has conference room, it has 2 kitchens, and it also has a operating room or a medical room. It has a doctor on board all the time. It has blood supply, and basically that blood supply, it is for the president itself. It has a special vaccinations in case of an emergency. And obviously, let's talk about the defense system that the aircraft has. Security, it is the defense technology system that they are installed on the aircraft. And one of them is the electronic magnetic measurement system, which, well, simple words, is a radar jammer for the enemies. 2 is the infrared counter-measuring system, which is to divert any heat-seeking, capable to eject any flares that they're located under the wing. Now, the EMP, which is the electromagnetic pulse, that is something that most of the nations now are taking a look at that, just because in case of any nuclear explosion, it will able, obviously those will be able to destroy any of the circuit or electrical boards that impact the aircraft in certain areas. So the whole aircraft is basically armored with those type of shields in order to become an airborne bunker. In 2017, the US Air Force announced the replacement of the current aircraft, and it's going to be replaced by the Boeing 747-8. It's a custom made by Boeing. It is heavily modified by the US military. It's an intercontinental aircraft. It has a range of about 8,000 nautical miles, and it's costing us about $4.7 billion, and the estimated delivery is between 2027 or 2028. So by then, most likely, President Trump will be able to take delivery of the aircraft and fly with it. So there you have it. You got a glimpse of what the Air Force One is all about. And this aircraft represents a symbol of power of the US. So hopefully this year, or this president-elect, President Trump in 2028, will be able to take delivery of the new 747-8 or the VC-25B. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.